So, moths, am I right? No, hold up. I'm not talking about our common nemesis, of which the larvae are eating our fibers. No. I am talking about that creature that we would call, in Dutch, night butterflies. I did a little closet purge a couple of weeks ago. I've got some pantyhose that are beyond repairing, and I was reminded of that very nostalgic craft of making butterflies out of pantyhoses. But I'm not a child anymore, so I'm going to make moths instead. For inspiration, I put together a little Pinterest board full of moths. I don't know which one I want to make yet, but I think we're going to keep the shape pretty simple, like make it rather geometric instead of those really cool moths with like Luna moths and stuff. I think that is going to be a little bit too complex for my brain to handle right now. I just want an easy craft. I just want to make a lovely nostalgic little nylon butterfly. Even though, it must be said, my pantyhoses aren't nylon. Most of them are cotton, so it's not going to stretch as much or be as translucent as the ones that you could make out of a nylon pantyhose. But I think that with the fabric being a little bit more sturdy, it would also be a better canvas to paint on, because I'm planning to really make it almost realistic and paint the wings afterwards, so it doesn't really matter which color of pantyhose I pick right now, although maybe it would be a help to have it as a base color for the moth anyway. Yeah, let's cut up some panties. Now, before we start cutting in the panty, maybe let's make a wing shape with this copper wire. I want to go with this slightly triangular shape and then have a rounder wing underneath. I don't know if you know, but the difference between butterflies and moths, or night butterflies as we call them, is in their wings. A little bit of a nerd moment here, but the thing is, when you have a butterfly resting down, they will have their wings up straight like that, closed, while a moth, when it is resting, it has their wings lying flat. That's the difference. That's how you can see if you find something really colorful and really pretty, but it has its wings lying flat on its back, it's a moth and not a butterfly. I should stop being a nerd and start crafting. Let's check if this actually fits over one of the feet of my panties, because maybe it's too big. I think I can actually go bigger. Keep these as the under wings then. I think it's possible, but it's compressing the shape of the copper wire. The panty is too strong for the copper wire. I think I need double layer copper wire to keep its shape. I mean, it's logic in a sense, because these panties were used to withstanding my thunder thighs. In essence, I'm trying to achieve here, not a catapult, but what I was trying to achieve is making a 2-ply copper wire. We're spinners, we all know that a 2-ply is sturdier than a single. I used to be a youth counselor at a camp where we made clay statues with, of course, a wireframe skeleton, and then we used a power drill to do this. That's much faster. But there we go, that's a 2-ply copper wire. I've got the two outer wings already secured with enough copper wire till Nike so that I can attach it all together later. Yeah, they look like wings, very good. It's a little bit messy because, of course, just as with anything else on this channel that I do, this is not a tutorial. Actually, I'm not even following any guidelines. I'm just doing whatever feels right in the moment. I'm pretty certain that in the vastness there is YouTube, there are actual tutorials on how to do this, how to make a pantyhose butterfly or pantyhose moth if you want. This is not one. This is just me inviting you on a cozy little craft together, a little crafternoon if you will. So I do hope you've got yourself a snack, a beverage, a nice craft of choice, so that we can have our crafternoon, can craft together and finish the two little wings. Speaking of beverages, let's make ourselves one. I've got some purple dead nettle over here. I'm gonna take some tops of that. And some mint. I only want a Moroccan mint today, even though I also have chocolate mint over here. We're friends, right? I mean, we're having a crafternoon, we're friends, all right. And, you know, during a crafternoon, people gossip a little bit. So let's gossip a little bit. I feel like there might be people who judge me for the state of my garden. You have seen it just now. I just picked purple dead nettle out of there. And I did not plant it. It grew there, and there is a lot of other stuff, like I think it's St. Robert's turp, and grass, and dandelions, and all that other good stuff. And the thing is, there are people who will judge me for that. But also, my husband and I, we went to a local herbal market, let's say, a couple of weeks ago here in my municipality. And I found it so funny, actually, that people were buying plants that I just have growing in my garden. There were people buying yarrow. Okay, it probably was some kind of fancy cultivar. If you just don't mow your grass for 2 weeks, you will have yarrow. Especially if you live over here. Buying yarrow, that was something really weird to me, because I just have it here between my terrace tiles. But that's just something I quickly wanted to spill the tea before I drink the tea, gossip with you a little bit about it. So I'm not saying that the people who are buying yarrow at such a horrible market are the same people that judge me for my garden, but I'm also not saying it. And now we can paint the wings, and I want to make a moth that looks a little bit like this one. It's not too complex, but it has some interesting things going on. And with the pantyhose that I used to make the top wings already being green, you know, that's just a little bit of an added bonus. So I'm just using some acrylic to paint this, because acrylic just goes on everything. And we'll start with the smaller wings. I actually like that these pantyhose are a little bit structured, because on the reference picture you can also see that, you know, there is some structure in the wings as well. And it's not this, of course, it's not this faux cable structure, but I don't know, it gives a bit extra. not using any fabric paint or any fabric medium for this because, well, I will not have to wear these panties anymore. This is purely decorative, purely an art piece. Yes, I am calling it art already. Here we go, we've got a pair of hind wings. And because I am nothing if not a big nerd, I just found out which moth we're making. We're making the Proserpinus terloi, or the Terlo sphinx, which is apparently a moth that is found from southern Arizona to Sonora in Mexico. So not something that lives around here, even though Terlo sounds kinda Dutch. I mean, I instinctively read it as Terlo, but I don't know. Probably the dude who discovered this moth was some kind of a colonial scientist. Anyway, really cool to know that it's a Terlo sphinx moth. The picture that I have from Pinterest is probably also a little bit blown out or oversaturated in colors, because when I read the description of the Terlo sphinx moth, it is said to be olive green, and the one I have on my picture here, that's not olive green. So I think maybe I'm going to keep a lot more of the original color of my pantyhose over here. Or maybe not, we'll see how much fun I have painting this. This particular texture of pantyhose is not as much helpful as to sell the idea of a moth, but you know, it's still pretty. We actually have something resembling this sphinx moth. I think all I have to do now is paint the body, because now it's clearly just, you know, pantyhose, while the wings look really neat, even though I need to reshape some bits before it's like nice and even. But yeah, here we have it. And I also have like a little lip here on the back so that I can hang it on the wall, because of course this project is part of my ongoing series of beautifying and whimsyfying the studio over here. This will go on the wall. In which it is now part 3, after making this little lamp, these pillows and this little poof. I have like a really big moth hanging behind me whenever I make talking head portions of videos. And hopefully this big moth will also deter the little small ones that we do not want in here. I realized that I haven't been talking much during the painting and sewing together of this little creature. Well, I have been so focused. This is so fun. I have more pantyhoses, so well, yeah, maybe I will make more moths in the future. I also know that this is not my regular content, so I hope that if you made it this far that you have enjoyed this. But sometimes you just need a one afternoon craft project, and I have been really in a painting kick. So yeah, I really have my mind on painting all of the things lately, so I am following the dopamine where it currently hides, which is in painting stuff. Are you seeing him? You are seeing him, aren't you? Oh my god. This was such a quick and easy project to do in an afternoon, and I'm so happy with him. Oh, look at his moth. He is lumpy, his body is lumpy, but I think that my paint job does a lot of hiding of inconsistencies in like the sewing and, you know, where the wings scrunch together. Yeah, I think that my paint job saves the day. Or well, I mean, without a paint job, it probably would also have been a recognizable butterfly shape. But this just 26 years of art school is finally paying off. Yeah, I am very, very happy with my little creature over here, my little Terlo Sphinx moth. There only rests us one thing to do right now, and that is to put him on the wall forever to be displayed in all of my videos. Yes! Yes! One more little addition of whimsy to the space. I am happy. I am so happy. But I have already said that. What do you think? Something to try for yourself, maybe? Anyway, this might have been a shorter video, but I am, as I have said last week, very much working on home renovations, and also that at the time that you are seeing this, I am probably also on a little getaway with my mom and my sister. So doing all the busy stuff. Anyway, I hope you like this kind of fiber shenanigans, because I still count this as fiber shenanigans. And if you do like them, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in a next video. But before we do that, maybe you could look at some more craft shenanigans. Bye!